Satan's getting ready to be destroyed. Satan was created by God. And Satan is an influence. Satan is he's no good. And we've all had a chance to know Satan. And personally, I'm not even mad at him anymore. I used to be. But the more you learn and understand, that Satan is a decision. Satanism, satanic, Satan, Satin. All he is an influence, and it's quite simple anymore. The world is coming to an end. No, not the earth, not the green grass, not the green trees or any green thing. The world itself, how the world is. This world is Satan's world. He rules this world. That's coming to an end. Look, even if Satan told you himself, you wouldn't believe it. But I'm just letting people know that Satan knows that his time is up. And how's that going to happen, Robin, huh? How in the hell is Satan going to be destroyed? I'm glad you asked, because when you look around and you see all this technology and all this electricity and all these things that can deceive people, because if you never had electricity, you never had a TV, you never had any. Who's deceiving you for what reason? So the technology itself was created, by God for His purpose, for in the end to get everybody to know who He is. And here's how it's going to happen. All this electricity is getting ready to get cut on us. Okay? Now, even when it comes to solar-powered energy that's needed by the sun, or by the bulb that's in the sky, whatever you want to call it, either way, when they turn that off, everybody's solar power isn't going to work. When they literally try to act as God, act out the Bible, and turn the sun into darkness, and turn the moon into blood, I guess. Maybe that's still literal. And the stars, the holographic images will fall from heaven, and heaven will roll up as a scroll. Now, when heaven rolls up as a scroll, spiritually, it sounds like that's the end of salvation. Like that's the end of it. I don't know. But when the electric is cut, it's the beginning of letting my people go. Let my people go. Not everybody's going to think that way, because you're going to be like, oh my God, what are we going to do? There's no electricity. Well, what did they do before electricity, huh? What did the Native Americans do before Christopher Columbus supposedly came over here and kicked them off the land and made a peace treaty with them? Or was that William Penn? Whatever the history is. That's probably why I never cared about history. I hated it. I hated social studies. All I know is something about the Boston Tea Party. That's it. That's pretty much it. It's 1776. Something happened back then. I don't know. Other than that, I care less. But when Satan was cast down to the earth, and when William Penn, or whoever, Benjamin Franklin, whoever wants to take credit for stealing somebody else's idea, when lightning struck and they figured out how to make electricity out of it, I'm pretty sure that the elites believed that that's Lucifer, Satan, the light. And they, from that point on, well, they used Satan even more to be a bigger influence worldwide. That's how I'm able to talk to you right now through this little doohickey gadget thing and get my message all the way across to the other side of the world. Even if there's somebody in North China, Korea. When I looked on analytics a long time ago, my message got through every part of the world. Through the electricity, of course. Now, yeah, that's still God's purpose, the electric. But it's also the reasoning, because the reason why God and Satan, good and evil, coexist together, they communicate more than anybody. Don't think that God is just like, all right, Satan, I'm not talking to you anymore. Get out of here. Go do your job and beat it. No, because God created Satan. He has a connection with everything that he created. Everything. Even the trees. Even the plants that grow. He has a connection with everything. So, Satan is part of God. Just like we are part of God. We were made in his image. God is, he gives us free will. He gives us the will to choose what's right, what's good, what feels righteous. And he gives us a chance to choose what's wrong, what's horrible, and what feels unrighteous. In order for you to balance it out and pick and choose, which side do you want to choose? Many people choose side Satan at this moment. A lot of people are waking up choosing side God. But see, when all of the electricity is gone for us, our testimony is finished. Just keep that in mind when that happens. Our testimony is finished. Now, this is where the elite are still deceived by Satan, the influence that God created. God created a horrible influence. When they think that they got us, right? And then the only way that the elite are going to turn back to God is, well, something has to happen for you to have an experience where, oh, wow, that's God. I'm sorry, Lord. So right now, as I'm looking at these manufactured clouds, okay, when I'm looking at the sun, it's just white. Okay, it's not yellow anymore; it's white. And when I look at these objects in the mirror, they are so closer than what they appear, because they're reflecting somehow, some way off of our dome that we are protected in. You know, the womb. You can't get out unless God delivers you. Deliverance. It's the only way you can get out, is deliverance. So the elite have been trying to get out of this earth and they can't. So they go underground, they go inside, they try to crack the firmament, they try to flood us out. They can't do it. So, but remember in the Bible, in Revelation, the simplest verse that explains it all is, remember there's a a mimicking of the Bible first, where the sun's going to be darkened, going to be turned into darkness. The moon will be turned into blood, as blood. The stars will fall from heaven. What God's going to do is he's going to eliminate the influence of Satan. And Satan's influence is electricity. So when there's no more electricity for us, okay, remember our testimony's finished. The elite are now getting ready to start partying it up because that's what that was their plan. Satan's getting ready to say goodbye because he knows he's going to get cut off. That's it, simply cut off. But the way that's going to happen is, well, there's no need, the New Jerusalem, right? There's no need for the sun or the moon or the stars because God is the light. There's no need for the sun. The sun produces solar power. I don't care how much you try to stir up energy again, electricity, you can't, because there won't be a sun to try to get your power from. Even if we do remember everything that's going on and we're still on Earth and there's gazillions of cars just pulled over to the side because they all shut down, or they all ran out of gas and there's no more gas. Everything just goes back to the way it's supposed to be before all this technology came here. So you could say, well, it's the fallen angel bloodline technology. The fallen angels, the angels gave the power to the humans on Earth. Okay, that's fine. Electricity came down. Somehow they figured out how to make, lightning came down. Somehow they figured out how to make electricity out of it. The elite, I'm willing to bet 99% out of 100 that they believe that was the technology that Lucifer, in their opinion, Satan gave them. The fallen angels gave them that power. And now they are considered mighty men. Because they're powerful. To think that literal giants are locked up and chained down somewhere underground just doesn't make sense, especially when they're talking about how much building they're doing underground because they're preparing for something catastrophic, like the Nephilims are going to be unleashed and they want to have a place to go underground. Okay, whatever you say. Again, that's part of the Satan's influence, technology. But what do you do with the technology? You can either do something like tell people the truth and get it throughout the entire world, no matter how much you get harassed, stalked, whatever happens, who cares? Get your word out there before Satan 1 is destroyed, because Satan 2, the final frontier, is where God is done with the sun, the moon, the stars, the clouds, this fake ass sky, as he just takes his hand and just swipes it up and tosses it out. That's when the elite are going to say, oh, holy crap, holy Lord, almighty Lord, oh Lord in heaven, I didn't know, because we didn't create that. This is our sky right now, see? This is our sky right now. And then when all this is dark, that's them doing it, and they're getting ready to party, the champagne. And then when God does it for real, that's when they are going to drop to their knees and beg him for forgiveness. And I believe that's when God is going to be merciful to them. Because I've always wondered, I kept wondering, how is God going to get the elite to turn back to him? I know he is. How will he? Last year, I began to understand that 7 billion people are going to be turning back to God. I just didn't know how they were going to do it. And then the more I studied, the more I understood. Because they're not listening to the good influence, they're listening to the bad influence. They're listening to Satan. Free will, that's fine. But your free will, because of you listening to Satan, you get what you deserve, which is a horror movie that you don't even know is a movie. You know what the reward is? A horror movie. And you know it's a movie. And when it's done, it's a curtain call. Heaven will be rolled up like a scroll. Electricity, say goodbye to it, okay? We don't need it. Money, we don't need it. We're not going to use it. We're never going to have it again. That's God's way throughout this entire existence of 13,030 years that this earth was created. How do I know? I just do. How can I prove it? I can't. Am I going to try to? No. But the creation, the year of creation was 11,013 BC. 11,013 BC. So right now we are 13,030 years old, exactly. See how the number 13 is in there? Number 30. 30 years since we were warned that the Illuminati is going to take over. But we were also warned that the church age ended 30 years ago too. Back in exactly the 13,000th year of existence. But from all this time, this is God giving us a chance. As many times as we've lived, if it's just once, all I can say is this: whatever soul you have, whenever you were created, you were always created to live for an eternity. Everybody is created to live. So even the elite, if they've lived before, they didn't learn their lesson. That's why they're here now. If they killed Christ before, here they are again trying to do the same thing. See, Christ already came. He already suffered. He already died on the cross. He already rose again. This time when he comes back, he's not coming back to feel any defeat whatsoever. Even though that was a win. Satan got the death blow on 33 AD. This time around, he's coming back to kick some ass. And he has this earth is reserved for fire that's coming out of our mouths. This fire is going to put out everything and anything. All of Satan's influence, which is electricity. Think about it. You ain't got electricity. How can you watch porn, huh? You can't do that because it ain't there. How can you do anything? Now I know, of course, he's going to be eliminated with his influence, but you can say, well, yeah, but you can still sin without electricity. Yes, I know, you can. However, Satan himself, the energy, the influence, the name, everything that's involved with him is getting tossed out. God is going to be finished with the what can I'm trying to think of a word for Satan besides influence. He was he's a creation. It is an influence. I'm sure there's a better word for it. I'm trying to think of it right now, but I will later. But when that is completely gone, it's no longer in sight. It's no longer in your mind. It's completely eradicated. And you're only going to want to do good. So when you know good and you know evil, and then now you choose good, there's no need for evil anymore. So that's my bottom line is Satan's going to be destroyed by fire, not literal. This earth is staying right where it is. We are staying right on this earth. And the same way God created everything, like this, He promises new bodies. It's a promise. A new body. Because your soul was already resurrected inside. That's the first resurrection. When did it happen? Who cares? It happened. The second time around, the last time around, right after that sun turns to darkness, and they take our power, and they think that they're going to round us up and chop us up and eat us like ground meat and suck our blood and have a big time feast. Well, it ain't happening. Sorry, it ain't happening there, guys. But I can tell you one thing that will happen. Everybody's tongue is going to confess, and every knee is going to bow, and everybody is going to turn back to God. And it's God's plan to use Satan, that influence, to get everybody to turn back to Him. Whether they can't stand the influence and turn to God beforehand and get slain for the Word of God, or you turn to God because of the fear that Satan put into your heart, and you are slain by the Word of God.